Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I am Mindy and we make a lot of bookish content over here, and so today I wanted to talk about the books that I'm working on. So I've actually already written two books, but they are like more of a self-help genre, and I wanted to write something that's more creative in a way. Not that that's not creative, but just I feel like creating a story out of thin air and just coming up with characters and making everything work is a lot more creative, at least for me, and it's stretching. And so I wanted to do that. And I started this in, I'm gonna say like July of 2025, something like that. And I didn't get too much done in the first like 6 months because we moved two times in those 6 months. And so I feel like in the last couple of weeks, I've finally been able to lock in and get a lot of work done. And I'm making so much progress and I'm getting very excited. And I just wanted to give you guys like the premise and some of the background. And I have not really shared too much with anybody, so this feels really, really nerve-wracking. I got the idea for this book when my husband and his brother were talking about YouTube, and they were making fun of how a lot of YouTubers repeat phrases and say stuff like, without further ado, let's get into today's video, or just like leaving a link below in the description box. Like, it's just things that everybody says, and so they were making fun of it, just being silly. And I was listening and I was like, this idea just popped into my head, and I was like, what if with all the AI stuff that's going on, with all the robots being built and just all of that stuff happening, I know that now YouTube is making it so that AI videos are not as pushed and stuff, but let's just take that out of the picture. Let's say that AI would just take over YouTube. Let's say that robots would just take over the world. And like, the thing that kind of frustrates me sometimes whenever we watch robot and AI movies and stuff, it always is the premise that the robots don't actually take over. Like, the humans always win. And I was like, so what if I would actually create a world? What if the AI and the robots take over the world and they actually do like kill people and they suppress people, and it literally goes in that direction that everybody's scared that it's going to go into? 100 years in the future, we have a world where robots and AI have taken over, and we have a great robot lord, the kind of central bad robot guy who's the leader of all the robots. And he has this skyscraper, and it is in Portland, Oregon. I don't know why I chose that city. It just came to me, so I was like, well, I'm just going to use that. So the setting is in Portland, Oregon, and the skyscraper is where the great robot lord lives. And what if the robot, has created a game where he chooses certain people to come and participate in creating YouTube videos, and they compete against robots of his choosing as well. And it is just this huge challenge, and the video that goes most viral wins. And so it's almost like a Squid Game feel, but not quite, because it's not the same, but it's kind of the same idea. I was like, well, what if that would actually be kind of an interesting idea? So I came up with that, and then I decided to take two characters that are the main characters of the book, two brothers, and they are in the year 2025. And in the year 2025, everybody's just doing YouTube for fun or trying to go viral, trying to get views. It's fun. I'm doing the same thing. I'm making videos and I hope people watch my videos. And so this is something that everybody does. And so we have these two brothers. Their names are David and Jason. And David is the older brother. He's 23. and he is making YouTube videos, and he's working a night shift job, and he has a girlfriend named Sophia. And then we have Jason. He's younger, he's 18, and both of them are very scarred by their past. They had a father who died when they were young. So I made it so that their dad died when Jason was 11 and David was 16, I think. And so their father passed away, and that really scarred them, and it really put a rift in their relationship. And so David does not know how to relate to Jason, because now, especially since there is a bit of an age gap between them, David feels responsible for Jason, and Jason doesn't like that. He just wants his brother to be a friend. He doesn't want his brother to be like trying to protect him or trying to lead him. And so David is working a lot, and he's making videos, and Jason is in his bedroom all the time, presumably playing games all the time, and he's not friendly with his brother, so they just have this rift in their relationship. They don't get along. They are not in a good place, and Jason is actually secretly working on a project. And so this is where it gets kind of interesting. When the boy's father passed away, he was actually working on a time machine. And so here's the other thing, is that David was not as interested in like science and history and all that kind of thing, so he felt left out. And so Jason was like always with his dad, always hanging out with him, always working with him, and they had this super tight-knit relationship. And so Jason was with his dad, helping him work on this time machine. And so then his dad actually, I think this is a part that I'm going to keep in. I made it so that his dad got electrocuted somehow, and so that's how he dies. And David was not there when the accident happened, and he kind of blames Jason for their dad's death, which is really dark, I know, but so that is something that happened when they were younger. And then while his dad was dying, his dying words to Jason were to work on the time machine after he had passed and to finish this project. Jason is very young at that point, and so he has to finish school, and he does go through years of grief. But then after he graduates, and he's not necessarily planning on going to college, he's just finishing his high school, and then he decides to work on the time machine. So while David has a night job at a grocery store, so he's just working all night, and then he is sleeping during the day and filming YouTube videos whenever he can. Jason works on this time machine. He has quite a bit of time since David is working and sleeping all the time. So he's working on that, and then he's trying to keep it secret from David because he knows that if David would find it, that he would just blow up. We just have a lot of drama and chaos between the two brothers, and then at one point, David goes into Jason's room unexpectedly because they had a bit of a clash, which is unusual for them. David, attacks Jason for something, and he gets really mad. And so later he goes back and he wants to apologize to Jason. So he goes into Jason's room, and there is Jason. He did not hide the time machine fast enough because he wasn't expecting to see his brother come into his room. And there's the time machine. And Jason had just finished it. And so they have a big fight, and they have all this drama and chaos, and then David tries to remove the time machine from Jason's room, and Jason will not let that happen. And so they end up actually pushing the button and time traveling to the future, 100 years into the future, where the robots have taken over and AI is, there's just AI and robots everywhere, and into a very dystopian world. And so they have time traveled to 2125, and they are there, and a robot comes and finds them and takes them to the skyscraper, and they are entered into the games So they are forced to make YouTube videos to participate in all of the contests, and they have to produce viral content in order to actually win. I'm not sure how much to say, but they have a group of other young people who has been chosen for the challenge as well, and one of them is a girl named Lily, and her and Jason fall in love, and so that's another point of contention between the two brothers, because David has a girlfriend, Sophia, in 2025, and he feels horrible for time traveling, and Sophia has no idea about where he's gone and what happened to him, and now Jason is falling in love with this girl, and so it's just a whole thing between the two of them. And so that's the whole premise, that's the setup, that's the background. And another aspect of it that I forgot to mention is that David, in 2025, before they time traveled, he had found out that their mom had cancer. And so he was feeling really stressed about that, and they don't have the money for treatment, and so he wanted to just make a lot of money going viral on YouTube. And so he was facing a lot of frustration because of that, and he had not told Jason yet. And Jason, after they time traveled to 2125 at a very bad moment in the story, at the worst possible moment, David decides to tell Jason that their mom has cancer, and that literally just wrecks the last remaining shreds of their relationship. And so, yeah, there's that too. I'm working on chapter 22 at the moment. I have a total of 42,494 words, which I think is not bad. So I'm not sure. I think I'm about half done. So yeah, I am very, very excited about this book, and I could not be more thrilled to bring it to the world. So hopefully my goal is to be able to finish it in 2026. So yeah, this is my book. This is my little baby. This is my little project, and I'm very, very excited about it. So I hope that you have enjoyed. If you would like to see future updates and more from me, then please subscribe, and I would love to be friends with you. So yeah, I will see you guys in a future video. Bye.